What's up, guys? It's Jam1 from Jam1 TCG coming to you guys with another totally awesome video. And yeah, today we are talking about that ban list. Like, I know you guys succeeded, and I'm excited to talk about it, so let's get to it. But before that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell notification icon so you guys don't miss any totally awesome uploads. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I'm going to take the advice of one of our viewers because I think it's actually a good idea. Like, it's safe to assume that you have all seen this ban list by now. I usually do a reaction, but like, I mean, like, everybody does reactions. So, we're just going to actually just talk about what I think the state of the game might be now that we have this new ban list. So, this is videos assuming that you have already seen it and you know what's on it, and you just want to kind of like think with me like what these things mean, like what happened here. So, all right. We're on Dude Book. Let's get to it. So we already know we seen it. We know what got hit. Let's talk about why they got hit, and let's talk about like is there any recovery on what I think are gonna be like the next top decks that come out after this has happened. So this thing right here, the cluster amarilla, whatever, I can't pronounce it, but it was in 5Ds anyways, and I think Akiza used it once, but it's a plant. Basically, they're in the OCG. There was a FTK going on with this, and that's why they just like slaughtered it before we can even have a chance. Which I like this because it shows that Konami is listening to us when we said that one of the problems with the game right now is that we have FTKs. Pendulums. But yeah, so I kind of like how this list kind of takes care of some of the FTKs, like stopping them and basically like, I don't know. This is Yu-Gi-Oh though. I feel like someone somewhere is gonna find a new one with something, but at least we're taking out the ones that we know are just wrong and like not fair. So that's why they hit this. Like, I don't really see anything else to talk about it with. It's just that like it's gone now, so good. They saved us some heartache from dealing with what they had to deal with before. That grass, OMG, guys. So we all know, if you like watch this channel, you know how much I hate this deck, grass dot any deck, and it's mainly because of the card Fairy Tale Snow, which, like, honestly, I hate her with a passion. If I could spell right, haha. We'll just find Snow. But yeah, there she is. I hate this thing like so much, and honestly, to me, I think this is really the problem with the deck, and it's limited in the OCG for a reason. However, by them flat out just killing the grass, get what I did there, because it's dead, dead grass. I feel like honestly, it's going to take the grass dot decks to a whole nother like nothing, because yeah, there are decks that can exploit Fairy Tale Snow, but to be honest, it's harder to do now that there's no easy way to just get all of those cards in the graveyard. Light Swarm, they still have their meals and all of that stuff. You got Charge and all of that kind of stuff that can help, but I just don't see anything just dumping cards as effectively as that grass. And I'm actually glad it's gone because it was a broken card to begin with. Like, literally anytime you can just say, oh, well, I'm just about to like toss all my decks to the graveyard and then plus. Like, no, I'm glad that they did this. Like, I hate this deck. I hate her mainly, but I'm glad that it'll be a lot harder to abuse her now. So I think we'll going forward, let's see. Right here, so this rank up thing, they did this because of pendulums, but I feel like they really hit pendulums heavy on this list. Now, a lot of you are going to be saying, like, Jam, I think pendulums are dead. Honestly, right now, at this moment, I think they're dead, too, with what they did. They hit the Sorcerer, they hit the FTK. They really kind of slaughtered it. Mango did. But I don't know, man. I've seen that deck is resilient. And the diehards are going to try to find a way to make it work. The reason why this guy hit, though, is because of this card right here. This card, Utopic Zexal, which is basically Yuya doing his Zexal thing, probably. But anyway, yeah, they hit this because this card is broken. Basically, if you don't know what it does, once you make it, you basically can just stop your opponent from playing the game for an entire time. for 3 times because it can detach 3 times. And basically, like I said, guys, the best way to win this game is to not let your opponent play the game. I keep preaching that, but it's really the truth. Like, and this is why they hit this card. It makes it harder to go into this without that. Pendulum's had a way to do it, and I'm glad that's gone as well. We gonna talk about Master Boy in a minute because I'm kind of sad. You guys know why, but let's since I was on the subject of Pendulum, let's go back to this. So Astrograph Sorcerer, everybody called this one. If you guys didn't see the vlog where I went to Columbus and I was talking to you guys, a lot of you guys said that how degenerate and bad it was that they had this card, and with Electromite, it just like made it so easy to do that. So the reason why they got rid of it, Electromite's right here. The reason why they did that though was just basically like it was just too easy. It was free. You can just easily get it and then like keep going, keep going, keep going, and then make these unbreakable boards. So I'm glad that they got rid of Astrograph Sorcerer. Like but with now, like I just really wonder. Like I don't think Pendulum is 100% dead, but I'm thinking it's like 90% dead. Like what else can they do? Like a lot of their consistency like is gone because like okay they still have Electromite though guys, so that's why I'm saying like I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. Like we'll see, we'll just have to see. But like if you guys have any ideas in the description below, let me know how you think Pendulum was gonna recover from this because I don't know if they will, but they might. And then let's go on to that. Like I said, going we'll stay on the pendulum subject because this is hurts the pendulum. This basically gets rid of the FTK. FTK is pretty much gone now, unless there's another monster that can do what Starving Venom could. But the Nightingale thing, Gil. This thing right here is the reason why this had to go because he copied her effect and then just burn you from all that stupid damage. And her effect is right here, by the way. So like it was just broken. Like and then he becomes unaffected too. Like it was just dumb. So I'm glad that they got rid of this. Like I said, they're listening to us when it comes to like, hey, ban the FTKs. Um, Nothing else really to say about this. This card in itself was actually really powerful, even if you didn't have this going for you. Like, let's say they ogred you or did something to get rid of the Nightingale. Like, you still like ogred you before you got into the copying. You still have this card, and this card is just broke. You just like literally just make it with anything in the deck, like too dark. Like, yeah. So I'm glad. I'm so glad. And then speaking of FTKs, we're looking here. They limited this. We're gonna talk about the limited stuff in a minute, but basically by them limiting this, it basically changes a lot of consistency with the Gem Knight FTK. Now let's talk about what everybody is really talking about. Actually though, I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. One more thing. Ancient Fairy banned. We saw this coming too. At least like no one said this in the vlog, and like people haven't been talking about it that much. But I saw it coming just because like think about it. In OCG, it is banned, so there's a reason for it. People were abusing the field spell stuff, and now like Spyral kind of got re-brought back. I feel like now it's going to be harder for them to do some of their combos without this, but like I still think Spiral Nightmare is going to be a thing. Um, Leading into this, I'm actually going to talk about the decks that I think are going to be prevalent, but let's just keep going. So that covers the ban. The last thing that's banned is sadly our Master Boy got banned, guys. We saw this coming. All True Draco players, like I'm technically a True Draco player now, a hybrid, but like yeah, I saw this coming. I was sad. With the new version of Taffa that I created to use this, the card is just stupid. It had to be abused, and that's why they were like, yeah, this card is doing too much. And honestly, just free pops, immunity of any source in Yu-Gi-Oh is broken. And I'm glad that it's like I'm not glad because I'm sad because it messes my deck. I gotta change some things now. But honestly, though, don't think that this means that True Draco is dead, guys. I don't think it's dead because they gave us back Dynamite Knuckle and they unlimited Ignis, so it's still very playable. Like people think that oh Draco gone. No, watch. I guarantee you, I'm gonna build a build that's could utilize some of the cards that we have now. And another thing to keep in mind too with this, I want to show you guys this, which you probably have heard about it already. If you, especially if you're a die-hard Draco player, you're gonna try to make it work just like I am. Right here, this card right here is a very decent substitute for Masterpiece. Now, keep in mind, I haven't play tested it as much as I wanted to yet, but and he doesn't have pops, but basically he gets the same immunity things as Masterpiece. Whatever you tribute it, he gets immune to it, unaffected right there. But here's the thing though. You have to tribute 3 cards, and this is why people weren't playing it, so it wasn't seeing play. Now, that doesn't mean though that it won't now, because it is a viable substitute for a Masterpiece. I think though I would only see it at either 1 or 2, no more than that. But I think 2 might even be cloggy. I think it'll be just like a really good, like, okay, game ender type thing. Like once you set up the board and stuff and pop all their stuff, I think you'll be able to just drop this. Another cool effect that he has, it's kind of the Waken the Dragon effect a little bit. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Waken the Dragon is this new card that just came out. Waking. There it is. All right, so this card right here, this kind of has a similar effect. Well, let me drag it over here. Okay, that's why. This card, basically, if you destroy this, then you can get a monster from your deck or your extra deck, right? People are starting to side this now, and we're seeing it in play, which is funny, though, because with that card that I'm talking about, the Megatron, well, it's not new. It's just the Draco that, like I said, people failed to use. I honestly see this being used very similar to Waken the Dragon. And like when he gets destroyed, you can get a synchro monster or fusion monster from your or XC monster from your extra deck. So, but it has to be one of these elements, and it's kind of good that they did this because a lot of the light and dark monsters that exist in this game are broken. So it has to be one of the 4 elements. That's all. But honestly, I see that as a viable substitute for our masterpiece, and I think that with enough practice, like it'll still be a game ender, even though it doesn't have pops. It's still pretty big and immune, and you get something if they even manage to destroy it. So that's one way I see that going now. So continuing, so we have our limited now. So they limited this guy to 1. So like I said, trying to hurt the Gym Knights because Gym Knights was actually doing a little something. They gave us our Dynamite Knuckle back. They put him to 1, but they gave him back. The reason why Dynamite Knuckle, the reason why Dynamite Knuckle is actually pretty good, guys, is because basically, if you don't know, he lets you get the card right from your deck and activate it, and it can be a trap card, which is why it was good because we were seeing combos with it. Like, oh, I'm gonna activate Apocalypse now, tribute, okay, and then like you just plus up with it. It's really good, and again, like there's a reason why he was limited and banned for a minute. So him coming back to 1 is like a decent thing for us. I don't understand this one, to be honest. If anybody knows why this was like limited, let me know. But it burns. It does burn damage. I just don't really see the reason why. Maybe there's a deck coming out that I'm not sure about because I don't know about every future deck, guys. I just kind of like to play the game as it's going and worry about the new stuff later. So maybe they saw something about this and that's why they banned it, or sorry, limited it. They limited it to 1. Not sure. Now we're going to the limited to 2. So they gave Cleafor players back Towers. And honestly, Towers was broken when it was out, but it's been power crept, guys. I don't see it being that much of a big deal that it's at 2. But then again, I don't know, it might explode into something bad. But again, it has immunities, and I'm telling you guys, I've been playing this game a really long time, and I'm telling you that immunities to anything is really difficult, especially when you have that big, like hard to get over attack. Like he is huge, and then like he makes monsters lose attack too, so that makes him even harder to deal with. So honestly, like it could actually be a deck again, maybe, but I highly doubt it because, like, even seeing him at 1, we didn't really see much happening. Kaijus exist now, guys, so big monsters like this are just like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna just give you a turtle, and yeah. They next going on with what did they put to? No, this is sorry. This is still limited. This is limited to 2. My bad. Sorry, not yet. Not unlimited yet. This is still limited to 2. This being limited to 2 again, it doesn't do anything now. Like back in the day in the old school game, maybe, but they even eroded it. It's just like it's not the same card. It doesn't really do much. I can see maybe Trickstar maybe possibly abusing this just to get that extra burn damage on you, like right in the middle of the game. Just be like, hey, haha, you already took this damage. Oop, destroy that. Boom, and then just like really like get close to killing you. That's the only thing I can see maybe with it, but I don't know. Maybe there's something else coming out that I don't know about. They unlimited our Ignis, so True Draco players, we still have Ignis, so it's not the end of the world. Like Ignis combined with Dynamite Knuckle can continue to have some kind of consistency with the deck. I don't see it being completely slaughtered, but honestly, without Masterpiece though, the deck will be played a lot different. Like so, yeah, Ignis Unlimited is pretty decent. Now, this guy is unlimited. Honestly, if you know me, I hate water dot deck, Mermill, Atlanteans, whatever you want to call it. I really can't stand them. They're very annoying. They just like a glass cannon that destroys you very fast. Like they OTK so hard. And now this is gonna up their consistency now that this is unlimited. So I don't know, guys. Like I can foresee that being one of the topper decks. Like I think maybe like tier 2. Like I don't want to say tier 1, but I think it'll definitely be like tier 2 and a viable option for us in the future for people playing. They took this off the ban list. So the probably reason they did this, because a lot of the Earth decks that were doing stuff is kind of gone now. But then at the same time, like Dinosaur at full power was kind of ridiculous and like just other things. But I'm not saying that they would have used this, but what I'm saying is the reason why they just took this off probably has a lot to do with the new Element Sabers. Element Sabers are the archetype that can use the Elemental Lords, and I think that the reason why they did this was that they wanted to like this new archetype that came out with the Element Lords being like the subtype and stuff. They wanted to be like, oh, okay, let's use this guy. It's like this is the only thing I can see why they took this off the list. I don't really see it doing much because they all have that effect that like kind of stun you when this card leaves the field. You lose your battle phase. So yeah. Moving on to Mathematician. When Mathematician first came out, it came out in Dragons of Legend, like a long time ago, like 2000. I want to say 2014, something like that. Anyways, when it first came out, it was really good, like because there was decks that needed cards to go to the graveyard, and then it was also good because when it leaves the field, well, okay, by battle or destroyed, like you draw a card. So that was really cool. Like we saw it in play in a lot of different things to just dump things. I even used it back in the day with my frogs because I was like, ooh, Treeborn. I could just dump Treeborn Frog to the graveyard and then combo. Like it was cool. It's just another foolish burial. I don't really see it doing that much. Gramo, like Gramo came out of nowhere. Like I mean, a long time ago, Gramo when there was simplified game states, like Grandma was a problem because you just kept bouncing things back to your opponent's hand and it was annoying. And then like especially if they worked really hard to make that board, like back then we had to consolidate lots of our resources into one thing, and then like this was just like, oh no, we can't have that because you worked really hard. But now think about it, guys. We have kaiju's. Like we have a lot of spot removal that's really simple. So this guy being unlimited to me has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't really stop anything or hurt anything. And then lastly, we have the I can't talk, guys. I just got out of work, so I'm like really tired. But evacuation, compulsory evacuation device. We have this card. Basically, it's a simpler effect, just similar to Gramo. You just bounce something back to the hand. Uh, I don't really see it doing much because it is a trap card, and trap cards are slow now, guys. So, like, I don't know. I don't see it doing much, but it was kind of broken back in the day, so that's why the banlist even bothered touching it. But right now, it's just power crept. A lot of things have been power crept. So, yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts. Like, I honestly think Pendulum might be completely dead, but keep watching though, because I'm not done talking. But I think that I want to go to the future of what we might see. But yeah, I think Pendulum might be kind of dead. but we don't know. Like I said, very close to it being dead. Masterpiece, most definitely, like it hurts the deck, but it's not unplayable because we did get Dynamite Knuckle, and most importantly, they did not touch Diagram, guys, which we kind of foresaw that too because they're gonna try to sell it in new tins. I'm glad they didn't touch Diagram because Diagram is really the thing that gives Draco such consistency, like true anything. So I'm glad that they didn't. It also helps with their decks. So we're gonna see some maybe people trying to still abuse Diagram because it's still a good card. It's probably one of the arguably the best field spells that was ever printed. So yeah, and then grass dot decks are kind of gone. But maybe, I don't know. Like I said, there are other ways to get things to the graveyard, so maybe not. And then the rest of this stuff is just kind of random. Killing all FTK is great and kind of random stuff. So this is how I see it now. The next couple of decks that might be out that might be doing something most definitely will be Trickstar. I think Trickstar has a, if I could spell, guys, I still think Trickstar still has a pretty decent foothold in the meta, and it's been pretty good ever since Coder Duelist came out. They've been making a splash, and like I haven't seen them doing much things that like, oh, they're not gonna continue being good. Like think it was Simo who said it. Like basically, they're good because they can adapt to the meta. They don't have many cards in their engine, so it lets them get hand traps and other things to kind of combat what's going on in the meta. Um, okay, sorry about that, guys. My keyboard just is wireless, so sometimes it does that. But anyways, so next thing I see is Multi-Faker and them, the Ultra guys. I think they're gonna honestly become very powerful. Now that Masterpiece is gone, that was one of the things that kind of was limiting them from doing what they needed to do. Another deck that's gonna be pretty powerful still is Spyral, because Spyral Knightmare is literally a nightmare just along with Gouki Knightmare. I think those two decks are gonna become very, very powerful and reign supreme because like they're really consistently now, and then without something like Masterpiece to interrupt their combos, they can go ham, guys. And I'm kind of scared because, like I said in that last vlog, I got too old by the Gouki because I wasn't ready for it. So yeah, and then like I said, I think lastly probably another good contender will be Mermill, Water Dot, whatever, because it's a really decent deck, and it always has been. It's one of those decks similar to Burning Abyss that just never really dies. It's so like in the right formats, and if you attend the right regional, you can take your opponent off guard and just kind of flat out kill them because they're not ready for it. And it's still they have their consistencies and they're really good. I also seen people like mixing frogs with Mermill lately, so that's a thing. So watch out for that. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I can think of, guys. I'm just excited that my Toad is still here. There's no reason for him to ban Toad. So yeah, I'm glad that they didn't do that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think is gonna become like the best and like the new meta, and what's gonna change and how it's gonna adapt? And yeah, like I want to hear you guys' opinion. Let me know. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. If you have not subscribed to this totally awesome channel, you definitely should, because you guys are totally awesome. Enjoy life.
More than awesome, he's totally awesome.